All right, let's try this again. I have no reason why. I don't know why this thing gets kicked off or what have you. So we are going to go ahead and take a look at it one more time, see if we can get this going and get you guys back live again. And wow, this is just crazy. Um, it just seems like lately things are not happening, and if one thing happens, another thing is happening. So, apologize for that. Um, I was going through my Wi-Fi, and for some reason, it's just not working. But seems like it's working now. Seems like you guys are able to see me, and we will go from here. So if I didn't answer your questions, feel free to go ahead and put them back into the chat so I'm able to see that and able to answer your guys' questions. I had to start a whole new live broadcast, unfortunately, because the other one quit on me. So we got this going, got it working, and seems to be much better on this one itself. So we'll see what happens. So we were. What's up there, Craig? What's going on? I do see your comments coming in. So if you guys, if I didn't answer your questions, go ahead and ask again, and we should be able to see uh, your questions and kind of see you guys live. I'm going to go ahead and put this up again and go from there. But yeah, it's been a great week as far as sales are concerned. I've been happy with that. Things are kind of tightening up. You got people at home, COVID, and staying home from work, and so it's getting busier and busier and busier. So, with that being said, there's a lot of you that are making more money now than you have been in the past months, just because people are ordering a lot more. And but with that, we just we want to make sure we do everything correctly. We want to make sure we do everything right, and we want to go out there and do what we can to make sure that we don't get kicked off of Amazon because we did something stupid. And whoa, 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 whoa! Did I just see a $50? $50. What's up there? $50. And who is that from? Somebody just donated $50 to the channel. Oh, I see it right here. OLA. Thank you very much, OLA, for donating $50 to the channel. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Wow. I mean, what can I say? I appreciate that. So, uh, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask, and we will go ahead and try to answer that for you. And hopefully, like I said earlier in the broadcast, we did put out the product of the month for the A to Z members, and you guys have that. We did our Zoom meeting last week. We had quite a few people coming onto the Zoom meeting. I was happy about that. So there is a lot of, and then we're going to have another Zoom meeting, I think, in a couple of weeks. I invested in the Zoom stock too, and that actually went up today, probably a good 15, $20. It went up on the stock market. So keep an eye on that stock. It's ZM for Zoom. And yeah, I mean, it's really, really increasing and really making quite a bit of money with the stock market itself. Um, when I go out and I do, and I look for certain products, there are things that I kind of have to pay attention to, and how well this product is, how many people are selling the product, how many people are making money off the product, if the product is going to be something that is making money for just not one or two or three people. It's making money for quite a few people. And then categories that they're in, if they have them in different categories and making money there. I kind of look at that when I do my product of the month. Have to really pay attention to daily sales, monthly sales, how big the product is, how popular the product is going to be. It really have to pay attention to a lot of that before I go out and give these products out, because it's just something that we want you to make money. We want you to go out there and try to make money, whether it's $1,000, $2,000 extra, in your paycheck every 2 weeks. Hey, that helps, And if you can do $3,000 to $10,000, that's even better. And if you can do over $10,000 in 2 weeks, which is not impossible. I mean, we do it all I do it all the time. So it's not impossible to do. You just have to go out there and just be really, pushing that product out. So Maria says, is it common to need to use different keywords in the U.S. and Canada? No, absolutely not. Keywords are the same all over the world. It's just whether you are, keyword is a keyword, you're going to pay for that. It may be less in Canada, I guess, if maybe somebody's not using it as much over there as opposed to here in the U.S. Or even overseas. But a keyword is a keyword, and if it's going to be very popular, for example, I was talking about this right here, and if I was going to use a keyword on this right here, I'm going to use the mini recorder as a keyword, and it might be more popular than Ultra Studio. So it just depends, how you go and list your products and what keywords you kind of combine with that. And that way you can use, software programs like Jungle Scout or Helium 10 or ASIN Inspector Pro. Those kind of help out too. They do have keyword generators there that you guys might want to try to use. Also, there's free keywords. Keyword.io is a free software that you can use that helps with keywords that I use quite a bit too. So, try those and see what happens. But Maria, great question. But to answer your question, no, it's not really any different. I mean, if you are, for example, Amazon has platforms all over the world. So we're going to use like the UK, for example, and then the US, or we'll use Canada and Mexico. Okay, so if you go to Mexico and you sell over there, it's going to be obviously cheaper than going here in the U.S., where you have a lot more states to cover, and Canada is smaller, so people may not sell as much in Canada just because, I don't know, maybe their mailing system is a lot more expensive than here in the U.S. itself, or maybe people are more interested in snow boots, I guess, in Canada, as somebody in Florida who's not interested in snow boots at the time, what have you. It could be something totally different. Just kind of using that as an example. But then you go overseas where there's other products overseas that are way more popular than here in the U.S. So those may sell a lot quicker overseas as opposed to here in the U.S. So it just depends where you're at, how popular that product is, and you really have to just pay attention to that. When I was in Australia, one of the things that I found that was very, very popular, because Australia is more of a safety, they want to be recognized as one of the safest countries in the world. So they go out and they have a lot of, like, the workers outside have to wear a vest, and so those are very popular, and those were selling extremely well. safety vest and what have you. And you come over here in the U.S. Well, obviously they're not as um, popular, but there it's just depends exactly where you're at. So, but great question, Maria. As far as that, so um, again, you want to kind of pay attention to some of the things that are selling. You want to check out the best sellers and kind of look at the best sellers and see how well some of these products are selling. They're best sellers for a reason. They're selling because they are best sellers, and so you want to take a look at those. Take a look at some of the subcategories in the bestsellers, and those are just as popular and easier to rank for as opposed to some of the main categories that are out there. So it's just something that you really have to pay attention to. I always tend to look at just different things that are going to that people need, that people are looking for, and um, I always felt like home products are excellent. Pet products are just as good. Everybody loves their cats or their dogs, and they're gonna spend money on that. Um, Also, maybe something like stuff for weddings. Could be like I don't know, a cake topping or something of a bride and a groom. Those used to sell extremely well for me, and the bride always likes to spend money and doesn't care what it costs, and the groom's sitting there going, "Okay, we're gonna have a nice wedding," and they tend to spend a lot more money just on that because it's something that maybe hopefully is once of a lifetime. Well, that's the plan anyway. Um, Maria's iGag TV. What's up there? iGag says hi, Henry. Welcome. And iGag says he has a couple of questions, so go ahead and shoot on that. And I'm going to answer Maria's first. Maria says, I noticed many of the products selling in Australia say they are shipping from the U.S. Does that mean there isn't much of an FBA infrastructure in Australia yet? There is. Australia just started and just launched, I think, a year ago, a little over a year ago. And I was there for almost 3 months. And waiting for them to open up in Sydney, in Queensland, and Brisbane, and a few other places up there. So now Australia is there. Amazon's there, and things are a lot more expensive in Australia than it is here in the U.S. I was blown away by some of the prices. I would go look for a salt and pepper grinder, and they had the big, large salt and pepper grinders that they use at the restaurants, and those sold for about $50. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of money for a salt and pepper grinder, but that's what they were selling for. Gloves, mechanics gloves. I was looking at those to sell over there also, and bought a whole bunch of those and sold them all out. Those right there would sell. You're looking, $15-20 a pair just for gloves, and they're buying them. But yeah, the economy is a little different over there. But you kind of have to get used to that. All right. iGag says, I have a question. If the couple that lives in the same address, do they have the right to have Amazon seller account each? That's a great question. Well, probably not. If you're talking two separate sellers account, if I was you and you were going to do that, I definitely would be calling Amazon and telling them that my wife, my girlfriend, wants her own seller's account because she sells her own stuff, and I want my own seller's account because I sell my own stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen because a lot of that has to do with the same IP address, the same modem that it's being off of, the same phone number, the same address, and that would look like it's a duplicated account. Um, but there's some people out there that have that. So there's some people that are still using that. Now, uh, I have an account. If I have an account, I'm going to have an account on the East Coast, and I'm going to have an account on the West Coast. And it's how to do that is to contact Amazon and say, I have an address here on the East Coast, for example, in Georgia or somewhere, and I have a business partner. I have somebody that's working down there. We sell the exact same thing, but we want to sell in two different locations. They're going to say no because you sell the exact same thing, and they can send that in through Amazon's warehouse through the FBA program and kind of put it wherever you guys want. But if you turn around and said, well, I'm selling X, Y, and Z over here and ABC on the east, on the West Coast, and that could fly, but you have to contact them and let them know first before you go out and do that. That way, it's not marked as a duplicated account. You got to have your own name. She's got to have her own name. There's just a lot of things that have to come into play when that happens. But great question, by the way. OLA, do you agree with Jungle Scout's graph of profit margin for Amazon sellers? No, I don't. Look, listen, and Jungle Scout's going to tell you this. Ace and Inspector is going to tell you this. These are all they're not accurate. The information is not accurate, but it's just kind of it's supposed to be close, supposed to be not accurate information. So you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt because there could be one program that is totally different than the other, but you're looking up the same product and one says one different and one says something else. Well, if Jungle Scout is using a different software to identify a lot of the products on Amazon itself, well, that's their priority, their software. And Ace and Inspector has a different software, and Helium 10 has their own software, and they're getting the data from different locations. So I wouldn't really put too much stock into it, but it's there to kind of help you so you are familiar, familiar with that particular product. All right. Maria says, we have 2 accounts with Amazon's permission, but we were told we cannot sell the same products on the account. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So, again, you have to be selling something totally different than and they'll catch it. Believe me, they will catch it. If you have 2 accounts and 2 different addresses, but yet you're selling the exact same thing, they're going to catch it. And they're probably going to eliminate one or the other, or eliminate them both at the same time. And when I say eliminate, they might just go out there and just close the account down or what have you. So, Maria, are you living in the same address? I is asking. Yes, she is. Yes, it's the same address. Okay, there you go. So there's one person that basically her husband is selling and she is selling and they're using the same address. I don't know if they're selling the exact same thing. I don't think so. But there you go. That's kind of, and I think they're in Canada. So I'm not sure, but you might want to verify that for me there, Maria. And things may be a little different. See, each platform generally should be the same, but is not always the case. And so you have to really pay attention to where you're at. Becca Love, hey Henry, I know New Amazon sellers cannot sell in certain categories. How do you unlock these restricted categories? Is it a matter of time? Yes, it is. Um, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of products that you sell. If you are constantly, selling some products, that helps you get unrestricted in certain categories. Um, it's about you going out there and branding your product, making sure that it's branded uh, good, because you're going to have to send pictures into them so they can take a look at it, and how your listing is, if you got a very professional listing. A lot of that comes into play when you want to get unrestricted, say, for example, like in beauty. There are some of my students who have been brand new, but they went out there and branded the product so good that Amazon says, I like it, this is going to sell, and they opened it up for them, like beauty, for example. So yes, I mean, a lot of it comes into sales. Sales really come into play when you are selling on Amazon and trying to get unrestricted on a certain category. Great question. Maria says, we sell totally different products. We are in Canada, but our accounts are in the U.S. platform. Heba, what's up there, Heba? Heba says, hello. How do brand registry programs go and trademarking? Well, that's a whole different video. But if you have a branded product, say for example, this product right here was branded, and you go under brand registry, you are the only one that, if you register this brand, you can go out there and sell this and have no other sellers selling that particular product. If it is trademarked, it's the same exact thing. The only difference is it could be trademark, it could be patent, it could be patent pending, what have you. If you go and you use brand registry and you say, I have a trademark, then you pretty much have to give permission to any other seller out there that is going to sell your product. It kind of protects you to where you don't have any other sellers sneaking this product from right underneath you, selling it for cheaper. And if your brand registry, it kind of protects you on that. And that's kind of a good thing for you and for Amazon. Kind of protects them. We use Nike as an example. Of Nike selling Nike shoes, and then you get a counterfeiter from overseas who tries to sell it on Amazon, and Nike is brand registered. Well, you're going to need their permission. You're going to need some type of documentation or something showing that you're either a distributor or you have the rights to go out and sell their product. And that's where it kind of protects you when it comes to brand registry and trademarking and all that. If you're brand new, do you really need to brand register your product? To me, and this is my personal opinion, I would rather concentrate on making sure that this product sells first before I even attempt to do any of that. There are people out here that are brand new that will come in and try to get a corporation, which doesn't make sense to me, because they literally will sit there and spend thousands of dollars to get incorporated, whether it's a C corp, an S corp, whatever other corps are out there. They will go out there and try to do that first, and then they go and try to sell the product, and then they find out that their product is not selling that great. There are other things that I kind of talk about in my course, in my Amazon course, about brand registry and trademarking and all that. Now, does it make sense to go out there and brand registry a product, or does it make sense to trademark a name? Now, you kind of think about that. I would rather trademark a name and put For example, I can put black magic right here, right? This black magic, I can put that on 50 different products that I was selling, and I only had to trademark it one time. But if you brand registry each and every single one of these, it can cost you a lot of money, because say you may have, the mini recorder HD, any other device that they have. And if they brand registry every single piece, it's going to cost them a lot more money to do that. So sometimes it's always better to trademark whatever name that you have, and use that trademark name to sell 50 different items if you wanted to. I could be doing a Care Bear, or, trademark, the name, and use that for a Care Bear, or for paint, or for anything else like that. So, but great questions, by the way. iGag TV says S. I would imagine that's probably he has an escort when doing that. So the most important thing when you are starting out, and this is for people that are brand new out there and they want to sell on Amazon and what have you, look, worry about getting your business license, worry about getting your business account, worry about getting software for your taxes, and for all your filings and your inventory. Worry about that first before you go out there and say, I'm going to go out and trademark, or start a corporation, which is going to cost you thousands of dollars. And the cheaper way to do that is just to go out there and make sure that you have a business name, you have a business account, and you're registered with your town, your county, your city, and do that first before you go out and try to do all the big things. What's up there, Faitha? How are you? And there's a lot of new people that are coming on they're coming on and seeing me for the very first time. So welcome. There's a lot of names I haven't even recognized here. Maria says, will Amazon accept a trademark from any country to brand register? Yes, they will. Trademark in Canada, but registered in the U.S. Yes. The only thing is they're not going to protect you. I think there are certain trademarks that you can purchase that is international, and that's where you want to go, because you don't want to have to worry about somebody trademarking it in China, as opposed to trademarking it here in the U.S. itself. So you got to be really careful when you're trademarking or brand registering a product. You want to make sure that you do something international that's going to protect you all over the place. But great question. What software do you recommend for U.S. taxes? Look, I'm not a recommending person. I don't sit there and say, I recommend this or I recommend that. There's softwares out there. There's, like Google. GoDaddy has a software. TaxJar is out there that advertises on Amazon quite a bit. So those are some of the things, some of them that you can take a look at. But as far as me recommending, yeah, I don't like to sit there and recommend, because it's your money, and it's money that is you're going to spend. So that's something that I don't like to get into. I don't like to sit there and say, I don't want to tell you how to spend your money. So, Mike Max, hello. How do you get ASIN? Okay, yeah, you're obviously new. There are things that you have to do to get an ASIN, and there are EIN numbers. There are other things that you get for like eBay, which certain other numbers that you can get to turn that into an ASIN itself. An ASIN basically is identifier on Amazon itself, and that right there, you get an ASIN, and the ASIN is created when you create a listing. And when you create the listing, it turns into an ASIN. And basically, that is only used, for example, if you are sending products into Amazon and Amazon's FBA program, it turns that identifier into an ASIN, and that ASIN is basically being scanned. For example, I can kind of use this as an example. Here is a UPC code. When you create a listing, this UPC code will turn into an ASIN, and that goes into Amazon's Amazon software program, and that's their own. So, in a nutshell, basically, you need a UPC code to create a listing, and as soon as that listing is created, it turns into an ASIN, and that ASIN is the identifier for Amazon. So when they scan that through their warehouse, they know exactly where it came from. Hopefully that answers your question. A lot of new people here, like I said, so I appreciate that. Appreciate all the questions, guys. Hey, thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. I got quite a few thumbs up. And OLA, thank you for the $50 again for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you for that. He donated $50 to this channel. I really appreciate that. And I'm always going to put you on blast when you go out there and donate some money to this channel. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Hey, Denise, what's going on? Yes, great broadcast going on. Thank you, Denise. Gives me a thumbs up. Really appreciate that. We're going to go ahead and give you that thumbs up right back. So, all right. Yeah, quite a few people coming on, watching me today. That's great. I had to broadcast through my phone because my software program on my Mac, I just think my Mac is just getting old now, and it's just going to give me an excuse to go out and buy a whole new computer. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. Probably spend a couple of $1,000, get me a beautiful computer that supports 4K, and have my live broadcast in 4K, hopefully. So I'm going to definitely be looking into that. I mean, looking into a lot of stuff here and try to get these broadcasts out here on YouTube in a 4K format, and that way we're much clearer and everything else. Not that it's not clear now. It is pretty decent considering I am on my Galaxy 10s 5G, and that's what you're watching right now. So, but I'm happy for that. And that's the beauty about it, is you can go out there and get your phone and broadcast on your phone, and and so forth. Apprentice, what's going on there, Apprentice? Apprentice says, too bad you can't accept super chats during the Zoom meeting for the members who buy your A to Z course. And yes, the quality of the video is definitely noticeable. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, it's my other camera. I'm sitting here dying because my other camera here is just sitting here, just kind of waiting, and just it's but the beauty is I can kind of do this and just pan around and show you everything, and there I am right here, so watching myself and watching you guys. So yeah, But that's the beauty about live TV. You know, you just it is what it is, and you know you have to be sharp. There's a lot of people out there that don't like to do live broadcasts because they freeze up. They don't think of, you know, they go out there and don't know what to say or what have you. But um, you know, I've been doing it and I still can't get some of these words out sometimes. Sometimes I do fumble on my words. But other than that, everything is right here, you know. So it's coming out and, you know, I'm just answering your questions and going out there and, you know, content. I don't like to go out and write stuff down and pre-script anything because you always know when somebody does that because you've seen their eyes going left to right, and you know it's no different than a news person looking at a teleprompter and so forth. Um, let me see here. Faithia says, I made a mistake. I recently opened an account, a seller's account, and my husband already had one. I didn't ask about the permission. What do I have to do to avoid troubles with Amazon? If I close my account, is it okay? Well, you know, here's the thing is, if they haven't noticed already, just leave it alone. And hopefully they're just going to close that one account saying that you have too many accounts, and that's usually what happens. It's kind of you're on a fine line and you're sitting there and you are sitting there playing with fire because yeah, they could catch it and shut both of them down. Probably not going to happen, but at least you noticed it and just pay attention to it because you'll get some red flags in the background. Basically, you know, in your seller central, you'll get some red flags there, and the red flags are basically saying, "Hey, you got, you know, one or more account open. We're shutting that down and going from there." So, but okay. James says, we all get better with practice. Yes, of course. It's like with anything. You know, you're selling, you're going out there and you're selling certain products. And that's another thing too is, you know, don't get attached to what you're selling. A lot of people make that mistake and saying, well, I don't want to sell this on Amazon because I wouldn't buy it and I like this. One of the most common mistakes is selling products that you're attached to. And you want to sell products that people are going to buy. And if people are going to buy that particular product, then, you know, what's going on, Layla? Come here, baby. Come here, girl. I know. See? It, like I said, this is my catfish right here. My little catfish. She loves it when I do this. It's my little catfish. So, where was I? Before I was rudely interrupted. And see, this is live TV, right? This is live, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you just can't help it when the cat wants your attention and everything else. Panarella Writer says, hello, Henry. My copywriter wrote a long title and a short title for my second product. He states Amazon advised him of the shorter one is preferred. Yes, because more traffic will be directed to that. Any truth to that? Absolutely. And this is why I talk about making sure that you have shorter titles. Now, there are titles out there that are going to be, people will put out there and they put all these keywords in the title and they're kind of hoping that that it gets picked up, but it is absolutely true. And this is what we talk about when we create the titles. You want to have 5 to 7 keywords in there because, as you guys know, in the course itself, we show you exactly how to go out there and look at the URL and find out what the keywords are being found on that particular listing. And it's always good to add a little bit extra to it, but not too much, because it may pick up the wrong keyword and you may not get as much popularity on your listing when you do that. But that's a great question, Panorella Writer. Very good. Maria says, agreed with you, Henry. It's not about what you like, but what the customer wants. That's where the money is. And James says, it's hard to find out what the public wants and needs. No, it's not. James, look at the bestsellers. I'm telling you, bestsellers are going to help you. Look at the subcategories. And I always say this, and people, this is number one question. Somebody says, what sells on Amazon? Everything sells on Amazon. If somebody wants this little USB plug, they're going to buy it because they need it. And if it's, this is another thing that I got. This it was for another camera. Haven't even opened it up yet, but I bought it because I need it. It was $25. Here again, the mic. I needed it, and I bought it. This little Joby, did I, needed this, but I have tons of them, but I buy them because I like them. So there's just a lot of things that just depends what somebody what somebody wants, what somebody's looking for. There's just a lot of things. People buy groceries and from Amazon because they need, groceries, or they're buying candy because they're getting them by the bulk. There's just a lot of things that people are going to buy just because they need it. I mean, I shop on Amazon every single day. I'm buying something from Amazon. And whether it's printer paper or what have you, I'm buying it. So it just depends. I mean, what people are looking for. Some people kind of they sit there and they get attached to what they're selling, or they're like, okay, I'm going to sell this, and they're thinking that it's going to be a winner, and it's a dud. It just because there's many reasons for that. Maybe they got great keywords in there, but the competition is so much greater. Maybe there's 50 people selling that exact same product and giving better deals than you are. So you kind of have to weigh your options there. Maria says, we sell tons of grocery items that are not normally available in the US, but we have them in bulk in Canada. Right, exactly. And some of these things are hard to find, or they don't sell in a certain area, and they go out and they buy that. There was a few things that I sold that were really good, that for the rural areas in the places that had bad communications, whether it was a Wi-Fi extender that kind of strengthened up the signal, or a CB radio antenna that search and rescue were looking for, and it went 20 miles instead of 2 miles. So people would buy stuff like that, and I would sell that all the time, and make money off of it, because that's what people are looking for, and that's what people need. And so if there's a need, people are going to buy it. Now, price, a lot of that comes into play. If you are the cheapest one out there selling all this stuff, then it's if you're selling it and people need it, they're going to buy it. Give you a good example. I probably did, I don't know, around 2 o'clock, I started printing a lot of my orders that were coming in through this morning and stuff. And you just be amazed by how many people are placing orders here on Amazon. It's crazy. You can look right here on my printer. You see that? See? Do you see all the orders? These are all orders, basically, today. These are all orders, and there's 2 orders per page, and here we go. I mean, it's just it's crazy how many people are ordering. You know, these are all orders that have to be filled still. And then you have the other side. So there's probably around 60 orders right here, just right here alone, that have to be filled tonight. Get them out to the post office in the morning and go from there. How do you get 2 different orders in a print like that? Do you flip it, or is it the settings, or is it one side? No. I use it other as poor man's tape. Let me see here. I got the paper exactly what you need. This is the paper that you want to get. You want to actually get this shipping label. These are two-piece shipping labels. And so this is a pack of 500. These are 500 labels, okay? And this number is the Avery 5912. Avery 5912, and this is what it looks like. Basically, it is one sheet here. It folds in half. So you put it in the printer, prints the one side. When you pull it back out, you flip it around this side, and then you do another order, and it takes this side, and then the result is you get both sides. And then you have to set up your printer for that. There is a process, but Apprentice, this is the one that you need. If you have a laser printer, then get the laser paper. If you have the other one, I can't remember what it's called, inkjet or something like that. You can use that one. And it's just basically printing the labels, so you have the labels, and labels are ready to go. Woo! Craig says, Craig K, what shipping company you like to use when you ship? I like to use Amazon, and I will use Amazon's shipping because it is the cheapest. But I use the United States Postal Service for 99% of my stuff. Sometimes somebody will get away with getting it shipped through the UPS, and it costs me a lot more. Or I may have missed it, in my shipping settings or something, and they'll use that. And then I catch it, and then I'll take UPS off, and I'll take FedEx off, because it's just a lot more money to ship it through them as opposed to United States Postal Service. But I will print my labels here through Amazon's shipping method, and then send it off to the post office. And basically they all come in United States Postal Service. These are ready to go. So these are coming in little bags and ready to take off. And I probably have about, I don't know, I would say 4 or 5 of these bins that I drop off like every 4 hours, maybe. Just keep filling them up throughout the day. So when you're doing 100 to 200 orders a day, it gets extremely busy with that. And then my postal people, they all know who I am because I go there constantly, and I go to the distribution center, and I just drop it off in the back. I don't even go through the lobby anymore, just because I have so much product. So wow, looks like this is breaking up on me. So hopefully we don't lose the connection, and just probably because I'm out running around and showing you guys this and showing you guys that. So, but great question, Craig. I really appreciate that. Um, Apprentice says, thank you. I do have a laser. It actually may be the same one you're using. Yeah, I'm using the Brother printer. I don't know what model, what number it is right now, but yeah, I do have that, do use that, and so forth. So. But great questions tonight, guys. I really appreciate that. Hey, and thank you guys for the thumbs up. If you have not given me a thumbs up yet, would really appreciate all those thumbs up. It does help out with my videos and so forth. I do see the guy that that's here that always gives me the thumbs down. He loves watching my videos, by the way, but yet he'll give me a thumbs down. He makes it a point to watch all my videos. That's how I know he is a faithful listener, because he always manages to go out there and gives me the thumbs down, which he thinks that that's going to affect my ratings, but it really doesn't. It actually helps me, because he took that initial step to go out there and give me the thumbs down. So, but for everybody else, thank you for the thumbs up. Really appreciate that. Thank you guys. Yeah, wow. And hopefully I answered a lot of your questions tonight. Thank you, OLA, for giving me $50 tonight on this broadcast. And I'm going to say this is probably the most that I have received in a single broadcast was $50. So thank you, OLA, for the super chat. I promise you, I am not going to have a steak dinner with it. I will use that for equipment or something else. Okay, I can promise you that. But thank you very much. I mean, the thought is pretty generous, and I really appreciate you guys asking these questions. Awesome, glad to help. You helped me. Well, thank you very much. And okay, so I think that's pretty much it for tonight. It is 7:05. My hour is up, and we are probably going to see you guys on the next video later on in the week, and get started all over again with your guys' questions next Monday. As a matter of fact, I'll try to get on a little bit more if I can. Definitely, I'm just a little. I want to get this computer fixed. I think I'm just gonna have to break down, buy me a brand new computer, and not mess around with it. And so I'm probably gonna be going to the computer shops and what have you, and talking about which one they can build for me, or even using another brand new Mac, that has a faster processor. Maria says, thank you for your help and insights as usual. You're welcome, Maria. Susan Platt, what's happening? An hour late, but that's okay. You can always watch the replay on this broadcast to see what was said. And thank you guys for all the thumbs up. Really appreciate that. I am going to call it a night. So you guys have a good one. And we will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you guys for coming on. Really appreciate it. See ya.